you want to attract and surround yourself with healthy people and respectable and honorable people. And when you're an alcoholic or a sex addict or a gambling addict or any of those kind of diseases, food addicted, anorexic or bulimic or something like that, but you don't attract those kinds of people then. And when they find out you are any of those things, they run from you. They don't want you in their life. They'll feel sorry for you, but they're not going to give you money for alcohol. They're not going to give you money to gamble, and if they are, they're not healthy people. They're sick people like you. So it's just, and I'm not saying you can't learn from people that are sick, but you can't fall in love with them. You can't fall in love with that beautiful girl that's sleeping on a blanket on the street, and for whatever reason, because, yes, she's beautiful, but because she's on that blanket on the street means she's damaged, and whatever reason she's on that blanket, you don't want to get involved in. It's kind of like going into a bar and get everybody to go to AA. You're going to be the one drinking before they go to AA. And there's a reason they're in that bar. And you're not going to get them out of it. So, and I'm not saying you can't learn from those people. You can. But to fix them is going to be your lesson, not theirs. And I don't know. It's just... That's why you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta, if you want healthy people in your life, make yourself happy. Make yourself healthy. And I'm not talking rich or poor. I'm talking emotionally, mentally, physically. None of that involves money. And that's why I'm not saying the beautiful girl on the blanket is bad because she's poor. She's sick because she's on that blanket. And if you gave her $1 million in a year from now, you would find her on that blanket. So money's not going to help her. Money's not going to fix her. See, confirmation. But it'll teach you a lesson when you see her a year from now on the blanket. I gave her all that money and she's still there. You'll be pissed off because what you thought was going to be a fix, what you thought you could buy, you couldn't buy. Jeff Bezos could give her all his money and she'd still be on a blanket in a year. Maybe 2, but she'd be on a blanket, and she wouldn't make a good billionaire. She would waste the money, She'd go to the bar and I'd buy everybody a drink kind of thing, Jeff Bezos has a lot of money. I don't think there's too many times that he's gone to a bar and bought everybody a drink. When he could buy the whole block, forget the bar. So, and that's what you learn when you have money. You can't buy everything. And you don't want to, If I buy you, you're not my friend. That's why so many people own a Ferrari or a Lamborghini and there's nobody in the passenger seat. Because they can't buy someone to put in the passenger seat. A lot of times what you find in the passenger seat is their kid or something, But forget money to solve your problems. If money solves your problems, I don't know. I think a lot of people think that, but you can spend a lot of money on therapy and get a horrible therapist. All the money in the world ain't going to get you a good therapist. You can spend not $1 on therapist and I'm the best therapist. So it's not about money. You go to a heart specialist You don't look at how much money you spend on him. Then you look at what he does and how he helps you. And when you have a heart attack, you don't ask the doctor, what's the price? You just say, fix me. Don't tell me the price. We'll discuss that later. You know. But the world is a beautiful place, and it's only a beautiful place if you look at it that way. It could be a horrible place. It could be a hellscape if that's the way you look at it. If that's what your eyes see, your eyes see a hellscape, then believe me, that's what it is. You know, and if you've been abused your life, you know, and you're a prostitute or molested as a child, you know, or a drug addict, you do see a hellscape, you know, because you don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, you know. You just, like, you know, prostitutes, like, there's no retirement plan, there's no 401k. They got to keep doing it. And then as they get older and older, it gets harder and harder to do because nobody wants to be with them. So, you know, it's just, you're setting yourself up. And nobody does it to you but you. Most of us are damaged because of our parents. Like, my mother and father got divorced when I was 6 years old, and it was the best thing they could have ever done. My father was a loser. So, my mother was a loser too, but I don't know. And I came from a horrible upbringing. You know, I had a stepfather that beat the shit out of me all the time. And my father beat the shit out of me, and I'm a better person because of it. Because I didn't let it damage me. I don't beat up children. I don't look to beat up children. I might spank them on the butt just to get them in the right direction, but I'm not beating them up. Not like I got beat up. I didn't become the monster they tried to make me. But a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people get beaten as a child and they become the monster. And I don't know how many years of therapy they need. Some of them will never not be a monster. You know. Once a child molester, always a child molester, I say. And they prove themselves to be true every time. That's why they look at where they will live. They can't live near schools. They can't work with kids. Because they know once they do it, they're always doing it. It's just a sickness. It's like once a narcissist, you're always a narcissist. You know? Oh, I was a narcissist 6 months ago. I'm not anymore. Nobody says that. Nobody can. I'm a child molester. I was a child molester 6 months ago. I'm not anymore. You can't say that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, and that's why it's so damaging to falsely accuse somebody of those things, because they can never get out from underneath it. Oh, I heard. Yeah, you heard. So, you heard shit.